Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Machine again. And for this video that I will be dedicating to Asian History Month in May of 2026, I shall be talking about little Quentin Tarantino masterpiece, Kill Bill Volume 1. Now, I have to ask this question that everyone in the movie theater was thinking when this came out. Why was this movie divided into two parts? I mean, I honestly don't have an answer for that. Because this movie was made into two parts, and it could easily fit under one DVD. It would be cramped without special features and stuff, but they could put the special features in languages and such like that on a different DVD. So what couldn't they do it? I mean, they had other movies that were going to, like Titanic, Lawrence of Arabia, and other things like Commandments. So I don't get why they didn't have the movie in one DVD, or at the very least have it in one case when it's set. I have no idea. Anyway, with the Kill Bill, it was actually based on the Bride book. So it wasn't something that Quentin Tarantino made up at the top of his head. He just made a very kick-ass movie for it. And there are two main reasons why I decided to cover this one during the Asian History Month, and they will become very clear later on in the little review. But before I forget about it, I know sometimes I get on with the movie and the actors and the production and such. Let me just say that some of the music in this movie is absolutely legendary, okay? It is one of the best movie soundtracks I can think of. But without Honor or Humanity is a song that I've used in some of my videos in the past. As well as Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. I don't know if there's a please in there. Please don't let me be misunderstood. You can take it here. As well as the song Woohoo Woohoo. And I think that was from the early Yahoo ads, I believe. As well as many sound effects and such that will remind you of early Western, not in the United States and Western Europe music. I'm talking about like westerns like you would expect, the spaghetti westerns, like Clint Eastwood, that type of thing. Cowboys, Indians, and all that. The horses that they got that. So that they got that. As well as the Wilhelm scream, which I can't do. And they also have the other one. For some reason, when the children at the Blue Reeds restaurant or tea house, when the lights go out, they have a weird technological sound effect. Almost like you would expect from a Pokemon mobile game, or it's kind of hard to explain, but it sounds like more like cybernetics or something or other. I have no idea why you put that in there. And yes, in this movie, Quentin Tarantino's little foot fetish is on full display here with Miss Lucy Liu, with Miss Uma Thurman, as well as the 5, 6, and 8s in here. I don't know why, but for some reason they didn't show Vivica A. Fox's feet. I guess those are his forte, his personal tastes. Let's see here, but there's also yeah, along that they also have a very famous the famous showdown between Owen Ishii and the bride, the Beatrix Kiddo. And it's quite funny because I believe that Owen during this thing is channeling the Yu-Gi-Oh! From Japanese mythology. What with the snow theme and the wintry theme of the environment that she's fighting in, as well as a white obi and kimono. Very nice scene, by the way. Very poetic. It's very harmonious with the red blood of the outfit and such like that. But also, I find it very weird that we all know that Asian people are one of the designations, if you will, for the race is yellow, and Caucasian people known as whites, right? But I noticed that in the end of the movie, they have the bride in this very iconic yellow jumpsuit versus Mr. Umanishi in the pure white outfit. So that could be like a little bit of race reversal type of thing too. Plus the type Umanishi loses to the bride. Well, that's something else too. And fun fact, I actually know someone that looks like the young boy that's in the Crazy 88 gang, and he said that he went to high school in the same school that Miss Lucy Liu graduated from way back when. So that's kind of funny too. So anyway, I got that out of the way first. This movie is amazing. It's great. A little bit long for my taste, but still pretty good. It collected in just under 2 hours. And it's told out of order. Like in the movie Memento. I never saw Memento and then I would like to, but I never saw it. So this is the first movie where I've ever seen something like that told out of order. I want to say that this movie came out in 2003, I think it was. So right around the time that I graduated from high school. So it's pretty much my first live action interpretation of Japanese culture, and boy, it was pretty nice. And let's see here, definitely the first appearance for me of the Yakuza, or I should say Yakuza, in in film or any type of media. So that was a real eye opener. I would more recently find out that in Hollywood and stuff like that, they tend to romanticize the Yakuza more than what they are. And that they're bloodthirsty, they're much more strict than, say, the Italian Mafia or whatever. I'll get into that more when I talk about them in here. Because it's a major point of the movie. It's a lost battle. But basically, this is a pretty much a revenge story in which Uma Thurman played the bride, and it's fucking awesome that the bride gets. This is one of the most iconic roles ever, if not the most iconic role, because she's a boss in it. If I could go back and digitally put on every glasses on her character in the movie, I would, because she wields that katana like you could never believe, like no one's ever seen before. And I know it's just special effects all that, but she kicks ass with that sword. I also think that some of the songs in there, like she and Chiaki, Kuriyama, could do pretty good choreography together. That'd be good. Go Yubari. I'll talk about later on. But but this first starts out with talking about why the main character of Bill wants her gone, and her revenge against this guy and the other assassins that go with them. I think it's the I think she was the fifth. Yeah, there was Winnie P. There was their brother. There was Gay Fox. And the other driver. And there was So she would make five. I think it was the Deadly Five Assassination Squad. So in any case, we get her getting beaten up by, and then shot by Bill at the end of her wedding. And even though she's begging not to do it, for some reason he got betrayed or insulted or something by his for the lack of a bad term, worker. The bride was his worker, and she got beat up and then shot and left for dead, and then was put in a coma. Now, first of all, I gotta say that when the cop goes to see the little Texas Alamo type style church over there, he got a rope aviator closet right there on the dashboard. And I gotta admit, that dedication got like 4 or 5 of the aviator closets of different colors, possibly a reference to the Assassination Squad. But it's funny that when the guy turns to go off road, they don't go off the dashboard. I would love to see that happen in real life. That if you did have 4 or 5 pairs of glasses on there, or anything on the dashboard, I would like to see him. I would pay him $100 if he keeps that there without them go flying every which way. And that would be funny. So then he goes in there and he examines the crime scene, and that everyone was killed over there. The bride, the groom, everyone in the crowd was all killed. I I think even the priest was murdered. So anyway, they have then Bright ends up talking about um the past of each of these characters, and this is the first mention of but then she goes up to Vivica A. Fox character. I forgot what snake she is. They all go under the cool name of a snake. And it's cool because Vivica A. Fox, when she's talking to Uma, is mentioning that she should be considered the Black Mamba. Makes sense, yet at the time. My question is, some black people get upset whenever you make mention of them being like stereotypical dark colored object, like chocolate. If you compare someone to chocolate, you're like that's like a big racial insult. But if they do it themselves, it's okay. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. If you like someone call me Ivory Soap, I will get pissed off for that if I were that type of person. But I could refer to myself as Ivory Soap. That doesn't make much sense. So they start going at each other as you do in revenge stories. And the kid that goes into see them when she comes home from school, and good woman like stop right here. I want to fight in front of my kid. I don't want to kill you or you kill me in front of my kid. So the peace out and then continue to some other day in time. So the boy agrees to that. So everything is a mess in the house. The floor's a mess and everything is dirty and stuff and messed up. So again, the kid is like, Mommy, what's going on? Oh, nothing, baby. Go to your room. Now, if I came home to my house and it was a mess and everything was broken on the floor, I would have more than 2 questions from my parents. And, yeah. But she goes to the room and 2 of them are talking nice in the kitchen. And they're pretty that, the gay Fox has on the, box of cereal in the cupboard called Kaboom. That's kind of like a hint to what happens in the next part. Because he pulls a gun out of it and it goes kaboom at the bride. But the bride ends up killing her instead. Now it's funny that happened in front of Kita. And the bride even said to her, it was my intention to kill your mother in front of you. Now also, another important thing is that this is the only time that to kill somebody without the aid of the sword. It's Hanzo's sword. Which I don't know if it's a real thing or if they just meant that for the movie. Or Tori Hanzo, the legendary sword maker. Could someone comment on that to me? Could someone tell me if that's a real person? Or just made up the movie? So anyway, I know that in most of his movies, Quentin Tarantino likes to show off women's feet. In particular, with their men for some reason. I guess like Caucasian women, I guess. But he's also known in this movie for showing up butts. And in particular, Uma Thurman, again, Vivica A. Fox, and Lucy Liu. Not that I'm complaining or anything about it. You know, they all have nice little, they have nice bodies of work, I should say. But it's kind of weird to see that. So anyway, another thing too is that when Nikita sees her mother dead, and she knows who killed her, I heard that was gonna be the plot for Kill Bill Volume 3, or Kill the Mommy, or something like that, you know. I heard that Nikita would, you know, take revenge upon the mother, and then the kid, the daughter of the bride, will get involved with it and stuff. So there is some potential to be had with that, but no, we can't make things. You know, I heard that if you go into a trilogy of these type of things, it just gets boggled down and messed up and all that. So it's probably a bad thing that it was not completed. So anyway, then she crosses off the list the name Vivica A. Fox's character. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah. So then we go into the origin of one of the women that beat up on the bride, who was pregnant at the time. So I guess it must be like a double kill type thing of only Ishii. Now this is one of the reasons why I decided to make this in this month, because they did a very beautiful anime version for Oren's backstory, and very detailed, probably more so than say Cowboy Bebop or something more adult themed and all that. And it was actually pretty good. Really, really good. And it shows how Owen's parents were killed by Yakuza, my boss. And I'm really glad that they showed a father, a Japanese man, I think, with Chinese American sergeant or something, fighting the Yakuza goons with his bare hands, and kicking butt too, until one of the guys shoves a sword into his belly, maybe his head, when he knocked down. But yeah, that's pretty gruesome, and the guy dies right in front of Orenichi, which is under the bed. Now I like this whole thing about her, like doing like a sniping like a hiss, like a snake would, as her father dying in front of her face, and you see its eyes roll back in her head, and it's very gruesome. And I love the guy that is doing the killing. He's I like the guy who hands that boss Matsumoto the sword to kill him, and then he grabs the woman by the hair, the mother, and throws her on the bed. Now I'm really glad that they didn't go into the sexual misconduct territory. You just had it and stab her with the sword, like in a very PG way, because he had a stab her like this. And he was making a very loud pace, and I liked the way when the woman's blood was dripping the mattress. They have like a musical piece that was like innocent shadow type thing that you really feel bad for. Or when seeing the blood of her mother being dripped all over her face. That image alone is just to me enough. But then when you see that, plus Matsumoto has a scar on his head, probably from a sword, and you write that he means business. And that's the way the guy who held the sword, who gave the guy the sword, was take a little cigarette to get some alcohol and make it into a bigger flame and everything. So that's how she became homeless. Now it's important to note that she has blue eyes in the anime, which I would imagine that every Japanese girl growing up has a dream about herself and a backstory being put into an anime form. To me, that's really hilarious. Like that. And the guys do it. Women, all the guys have Tejimoriyo ideas in which they all get surrounded by harems of beautiful, busty women that all want to sleep with them. But I'll talk about that anime some other time. Anyway, we have I've heard that it is possible for Asian ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure, to be born with blue eyes. But here, yeah, Luke has brown eyes or black eyes, dark eyes. So that's kind of messed up with this. Could give it a context or done some color change or something, but even when she's attacking the bride, with kicks and stuff, more brutal than the other ones. They show her kicking with blue eyes. So I don't know how that works out. I mean, both of her parents were Asian people, so you would think that she would have black eyes like they did. But whatever, it's a minor thing. So, does it know Memoirs of a Geisha was that way? So she vowed revenge on him. Again, this movie is for revenge and avenging. So, turns out that Matsumoto is a pedophile. Like a certain orange leader of ours, allegedly. And if he gets in there with a sword or a dagger or something, it's better to kill him. Now, I would imagine that if the Yakuza were doing the job, they would search her for all weapons, all concealed weapons, unless you put the dagger or whatever inside of her she concealed it, let's put that way, she concealed it, and she killed the guy, and right as it's about to die, she said, "Look at my eyes. Do you recognize my eyes and my mouth?" Yeah, I have no idea why she said the mouth part, but the eyes I could see that. I have the eyes of my mother. So she twists the knife into him. You know that he's in pain because he bites down too hard that his teeth end up breaking with glass pieces. And then he pulls out the sword, and you see the blood spray every which way behind her. And it's just a very gruesome sight. Iconic. And they show her looking like this. But yeah, I did it. I did it in part of it too. We couldn't do about it. Then the two bodyguards who shoot her, and she just fits under the bed, and meanwhile he just shooting his dead body, all tattooed up and down. And then she shoots one guy in the leg, knocks him down, and then she ends up exploding his head like a big melon. Same with the other guy too. And then they cut to when she's becoming a world assassin at like the age of I think 18 or so. And that's actually pretty cool. I love the way they show her shooting it at USA diplomat or something. You see the Asian girl, the Japanese supermodel over playing up him in a limousine. He's over there like that, flashing it up, hoping he'll get some action, and then doing the dump. And then me and Hawkeye when the sniper bullet goes right into his the big skull between his eyes, and it goes out with a nice satisfying pop. And then he dropped it and everyone screams. Number one, I like the way they showed the guy in the car, the admiral, whatever, like that, laughing up like that. We would prefer an idiot to do like the Americans like put idiots and we go party up and we like to have too much alcohol. Everything else, we're simple-minded that way. Number two, those presidential cards are bulletproof. They don't like thick plexiglass for just such an emergency. Number three, they got bitch about. And this is a big one. She's supposed to be one of the top assassins in the world, right? No, that's right, Bill picked her for the assassination squad. But yet, she runs around with a skin tight outfit on. It's neon pink, hot pink. That's not the right color for an assassin. Pick black. Pick something that blends in with the colors of that door. Not hot pink. I mean, first she's a girl, but pink, no. Pink nails maybe, but not full body suit. That's going to be seen in Beast and maybe color pink is kind of camouflage or something for height on top of a rooftop, but I can't see it being like that otherwise. Or you would stick it like a sore thumb. So then you could do live action. And then talking about Oren's rise to the top in the Yakuza world, criminal underworld of Japan. And I have to ask this very interesting question. Although I don't know what the answer would be. Is there ever such a thing as a female Yakuza leader? I don't think so, but it can be possible. But he said that she was the one that do it. And I didn't believe her. It's such a pretty funny that there's the one guy in the crowd that's like, she's a bitch, she's a whore, she's this, she's that. She makes race and all this other stuff. So it's not so much that I'm being led on by a woman. It's that I'm being led on by a woman that's half Chinese, half Japanese. So then she ends up going on the table barefoot as you do. And then she ends up taking off his head with her katana and shooting them. And that's to be mirrored by her own death at the hands of the bride. But it's quite funny that first of all she can move pretty quickly in a kimono. That's very restrictive otherwise. I know, I think that the top bosses and stuff in the syndicate will be prepared for an attack like this. And she says, all manner of business we tend to in a quiet and curious manner, except for what just took place about my ancestry in a negative way. Because if you do shoot the guy's head, holds it up like Kratos with Helios' head. It's just, I take your fucking head. And she said this in English too. So that's pretty funny. And the fact that Lucy Liu can deliver this line without any type of grin or any type of smile, and she gets a great performance for this, very calm and very demure. It's very, very funny to me. And then she got her assistant, Sophie, whatever it is, that's French and Japanese. I find that kind of attractive, but I think that she was much more attractive. So it's to me. And so let's hear so then they also have it's funny because she gives her a speech in Japanese, but then I'll take your fucking head. That was in English. You know, I just wonder how the people were able to understand it without Sophie there. You know, she could have just easily given the whole speech in Japanese or in English. I believe that includes what means because I actually do the speeches and talk to each other. I believe that they do that in the whole Japanese, just for ethnic clarity and all that. Anyway, next thing is that the bride ends up going to Okinawa to receive her weapons voice. And Toru Hanzo, like this big legendary swordmaker, was the best Japanese hero in the whole world, but he retired. Now he's the store owner. And the guy that's with him is a drunk lazy bastard. And up until the actual ceremony of him giving the sword to the bride when he sobers up. And she's like, I want you to be a sword. I can't, I retired. But your previous disciple almost killed me. So I think that's the time that you give me a sword back. You give me the sword to kill him. And he goes over to a foggy window and he spills Bill. So it's like, my thing is that of all the swords that's given, all those 12 people he sold to, he remembers Bill. Not even with Japanese kanji or anything, just the American version of Bill. To me, that's hilarious. And then she trains with the sword. She gets the sword and she transfers it in all that very, very black women in the sword. And the guy sobered up and helped him out and performed the magical spiritual ritual of giving the sword away to this person. Which, by the way, she does a very good job in receiving what honor. Also, I should tell you about how the bride exit got out of a coma. He was in a coma for a few years now. So, one of the other characters, Dara comes up and she wants to kill the bride, while she's sleeping, or while she's in a coma. And so, so she tried to do that, and she did the whistling thing that la 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 la. While she's doing that, and preparing the needle, the syringe with the poison, and right as she's about to delete the bride, Bill called up on the phone, and he said, "Don't you dare do that. She doesn't deserve that. She doesn't deserve us coming in the middle of the night and killing her like a little alien. No, she deserves to have a decent fight." And Daryl said, "No, you don't dare take this away from me." And then Bill says, "I'll take this away from you and you'll like it." Now, that's not exactly what he said, but you get the point. And she's very determined to do this, and very interested in killing her. And she wanted to fight Jersey and kill her when she's defenseless and stuff. And that shows how much power Bill has over all of his disciples. It's kind of on me of Christian Grey with the other subs and stuff. But whereas with that movie, it was more of a joke kind of thing. This one is more serious. So yeah, so she ends up getting bitten by a mosquito, and the mosquito actually wakes her up. I have no idea if there's any base to reality for that. If someone can be woken up by a mosquito that was in a coma for 3 or 4 years. But anyway, the guy is about to introduce her to his new friend who wants to have sex with a comatose body. Even Pragma would say, "No man, I got more. No, I'm not doing that." So The actor that they got to play that would be John. Uh, Remind me of the guy from Adam Sandler movies. The guy with the weird eyes. I don't know his name, but remember that guy a little bit. Anyway, the bride actually remember that guy Buck wanted to fuck her when she was out in like a foggy vision dream there. To where I could say, if you went in a coma, how could you remember all this stuff? So anyway, she killed the guy, and she knocked the Buck on the ground, and she slammed him in the door. Right after he dropped the Vaseline that he probably used for himself on her. Anyway, she kept pounding his head in the door, kind of like Kratos with TCS, because heaven doesn't imply that he had it everywhere when he was she was out defenseless. So anyway, they have a thing where he dies, and I like the last little twinge of consciousness the guy had before he kills it, before he dies. He even said to her nicely, please stop hitting me. And then she slammed it extra hard on the guy. I don't know. My question is, the hospital have cameras every which way. They can record a predator having sex with comatose people. And then Uma Thurman walks out there in a wheelchair right into his pussy wagon. His nice big yellow vehicle with the word pussy wagon on it. To say that, that I'm gonna get some action tonight. That doesn't compute too well in my sensibility, because, first of all, it's gotta be illegal somewhere to be able to have something so lewd and crude on the back of your car so proudly. Second of all, if you have to announce it like that, you're probably not getting. You're probably going to go for the lowest common denominator in that regard. The lowest thing, if you will. You screw anything. Like Quagmire. Which, speaking of which, do you remember the episode in which, Quagmire ended up going cross country in a RV when the screw a woman in every seat in the country? Yeah, I think that name for the RV was named after the pussy wagon. I'm not gonna say how it was, but I think it was. So anyway, you have Uma getting up back in the wheelchair, and she said her atrophied legs and feet, wiggle your big toe. And this is where the food fish can come into play. And might I say that for being atrophied for 3 years, not being able to move your legs or feet, for that matter, for that long, still got some pretty nice shape and nice definition there, like 10 feet. For someone that's been like that for 3 years. And believe it or not, it actually works. In the course of 2 hours, or however long it is, she's able to transform her floppy legs into useful killers and strangle buddies and all that, which is very unbelievable because if I traded with my legs, I couldn't get my I could will myself to work with that. I wish I could, but I can't. I would do that for my left arm too, but you see how good that works out for that. Anyway, now it's time for the actual event portion of this. Besides Vivica Fox, she goes to the Blue Jays tea house, and we have the weird green horn theme on the trumpet. Can't think what it is now, but they have that. And they have the 5, 6, 7, 8 when they woo sound. And we have funny thing. I was only able to whistle once in my lifetime, and that was by accident. So if you hear me accidentally whistle, I'm not doing it on purpose. So anyway, they have them do that, and then they have her cut off the arm of Sylvie and calling out Onishi and crazy bodyguards along with Gogo Yubari. Now, Gogo is played by Chiaki Kurama, if I'm pronouncing that right. And she is very beautiful. I've seen her in that movie, Battle Royale, which they got the idea for the bride's yellow jumpsuit from that movie, which Gogo wore in that movie. Not Go, but Gogo. And she still had that deadly greedy assassin quality of her. She uses a Morning Star, the big ball and chain that becomes a big spectacle with Buzz on it, with all blade in it, and I thought it was pretty awesome. But she dressed up in a school outfit. Now I would think that going to school there and working as a personal bodyguard for the highest cruiser member would be a little bit of a conflict of interest. Wonder how that would go. If Gogo would have to deal with bullies at school and all that. Plus, they saw her drinking in a bar with a guy, and she killed him with a sword. He penetrates in. Now, even though it's very silly and it kind of should be rubber hose blood spurts and all that. Very common in this part at least. They show Gogo is very bloodthirsty and very vicious and callous when it comes to death and all that. Which is really good for her character. I love her character in this. I love Miss Kurama. I think she's very pretty because, like I said in my other videos, if someone's cross-eyed or if there's some kind of other oddity with her features, it's all the more beautiful to me. Because I look for the imperfect in a person. And she's got one very interesting feature on her face that's bigger than the average person, and I'll be right here. I have no idea how it happened, but a very beautiful nose. And dark skin for a Japanese person. Oh my god, so nice to see her there. Even when she's talking about death and killing people, she's also sexy. Let's see here now. Yeah, the second portion of why I find this movie to be good for Asian History Month, because of the crazy members that she fights, or to the A7 because she lives long ago. You know, I love the fact that she gets blood everywhere and everything, and the crazy members die pretty quickly. You know, very unrealistically, it's almost untouched by them. And you know, this is like what they do in anime, in particular Dragon Ball Z, in which you have to fight the army of guys before you get to the big boss, which is another staple of, say, Japanese and Chinese martial arts movies, especially the one with Bruce Lee in, which Goku does. Goku in the bride's outfit do channel some of that Bruce Lee stuff, because I remember there being one movie where he did don yellow jumpsuit for it. I can't remember which one it was, but that would be awesome. So anyway, they have all the bride fighting with the crazy 8 members, the crazy 80. It's glorious and amazing because one guy, the Shiba, the bald guy with the double-ended bow staff, they come apart. It's really quite good. Fight. All of them come out at one time, and she uses him as like a shield of sorts to knock over the guys. She even does bowling pin noise whenever she fights with a Guyubari, which I think is part of the 8. I'm not sure, but I think she's part of that. Anyway, she gets a nice splitting headache when she tried to choke the bread off with the chain from a morning star, and it's actually very cool. It gets stuck in a wood beam or something, and then she ends up getting killed by stabbing in her foot, and then once again to the head. Very lovely. By the way, I wonder if you could stab in the head like that, would blood not kind your eyes and your nose? I'm gonna say yes. But anyway, they have to fight Crazy 82 on top of that, and she lets one of the guys go because she's young after she swips her sword and makes it disappear gradually, and then she spanks him with her own longer sword. Now another thing too is that wouldn't Bill job demands interfere with her Yakuza, work business stuff? That's a good question. Same with Gogo and her school objectives when working for the big boss directly affect schools. Anyway, I also like her nice little laughing when she's about to kill the bride. Or when you think she can kill the bride. So anyway, then they have a big fight at the end. That really she makes fun of the bride for using a samurai sword. Where I'm a clean agent, I should be the one using a sword to you. And that's why she's at least honorable about it. And that she's doesn't try to do tricks or anything like that. So anyway, let's see here. We're going to go to I mentioned it. You feel nothing. Mentioned that dress too. Make friends with the sword. That's not real. And then she taps her bride skill with it. And let's see here. They both take heavy damage from their own swords. I also like the way when her and the bride are talking before the big fight, he end up doing the silly rabbit tricks for kids and all that. I had no idea what that's about. But in the end, when Oren is damaged on her leg, she walks around like a little wounded rabbit. That's an indication. So then the bride ends up taking off the top of her head, of a beautiful head with a beautiful scalp, beautiful long black hair, and then the girl dies. And it's funny because I noticed that she leans, and when her body's dead, the body leans over to the side where her leg was injured first, which is accurate. So I like to see Lucy speak Japanese. I like to see Toby speak Japanese. I like to see I like the fact that Owen talked to the bride like she's a friend of hers, and she's just giving to her with respect and honor. She says you might not fight like a samurai, but you can die like one, which is honorable. Honorable death is always good death in movies like this. Let's see, I've seen it done very well. I like the fact that you killed the timekeeper there with the bamboo and the wire in there. I like it's a good fight scene. I like the way Beatrix takes shoulder damage with the sword swipe. I like the fact that Owen's sword and teeth are black. I think there's something honorable about that. And let's see what else is there. Head kill shot. It's like what she did the guy in this scene right here. Let's see. I like the way, even though putting barefoot, it show Owen taking off her sandals in the snow, and I like the way it. I don't know if they didn't play it or not, but I think that Owen could take on the Crazy 88 members, plus Gogo Party, and win. I think that's implied, even if she wasn't her boss. And then she says that, that you can take the lives, they don't mean anything to me, but your limbs are mine to keep. And I like the way that the one that owns the restaurant is like, oh my god, there's so much blood and body parts everywhere. And I like the Charlie Brown reference for the guy in yellow. And I like the way, I like the way she said she could still feel life for information that she wants information about Bill and everything else. And that he wants Bill to know that she's come for him for killing her and her unborn daughter. And Bill asked Sophie, did she know about the daughter is still alive? And then it cuts to black. And in the next part of the movie, the kid's still alive. So I like the way Sophie like almost paralyzed fear of that what's the name, that Bill is gonna be so angry with her for betraying him. And I'm sorry, Bill. I'm so sorry, Bill. And he said, it's okay. It almost mirrors when Matsumoto was gonna kill the parents with the very nice clothing on it in the hand. And the fact that the actress played so good at being fearful of Bill, even though she was present when the boy was killed or put in a coma. Which I have to question, how many associates of this group of people, the 5 assassination people, were present. I'm surprised she didn't have Gogo with them. Or maybe Gogo was too young at that point to go with them. But she remembers her ringtone and her voice. And it's very funny to see that even when Sophie tried up in the back of the car, she called her a stupid blonde. And then what's the name, Bright said to her, you can give me the information because it's not on her part that you will miss. And then she goes into screaming and stuff like that. So then she can look in shell shock when Bill comes up behind her in the hospital. Anyway, it's real good. It's hoping. I highly recommend you guys see it on Netflix or YouTube, whenever they put it on there. I hope you don't sense of the blood or anything, even though it's real water in a hose. But not real blood, not animal blood either. Like carry. And it's spectacular. Even the more silly sound effects like the bowling and the Wilhelm scream, which is in the Creed fight, is so funny. And I don't know what the dreamy age for young people in Japan is, but I think it's higher than high school, so that don't make any sense. Unless maybe because she was in associate with the Yakuza, that she was able to do it. So I love this movie. So the Japanese influence, Goku Yubari, Chiaki, Koyama, excellent performance. Lucy Liu was excellent. Miss Vivica A. Fox was great. With the rumors that come, the guy Buck was awesome because you hated his guts. And David Cardi was awesome too. I think he was played Tori Hanzo. I'm not sure about that. And Sanjiva was excellent. He was a choreographer and such. He did a good job with doing that. And with the characters, Hiya, waka, waka. And he did some good balancing work with the Bannister. That would be good. I love when she pulled back the bamboo stick and the bamboo smacked the guy in the head. And she said, "No, look out." And yeah, I thank you for watching my video on Kill Bill Volume Number 1. This was a masterpiece. The choreography, the Japanese influences, they were all excellent. I loved it. It's the ultimate revenge movie for me. It's got beautiful people in it. It's got beautiful actors in it. It's got animation in it. The only anime that my dad was quiet for. The music was good. The acting was great. And the actors were good because I saw Battle Royale after I saw the movie. And that's why I fell in love with me. Jackie Koyama. And Lucy Liu too. I saw this. This is my first instruction of Lucy Liu. And that was to hear. Yeah. I did this for Asian History Month for obvious reasons. It's a masterpiece. And it was awesome. And it had anime and Japanese fight scenes that were heavily influenced by martial arts films of the past. And which is really awesome. And I get a happy face. Still awful. Because it's freaking awesome. Wait, I would like to, if you like what you see here and you want to see more of my stuff on my channel, you can like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, contact me for future information on my stuff by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you want to follow me on Twitter or at P Maelstrom Pro. Also, my you can get my email at jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So let's like this movie, revenge movies, or scores in general. Some of the effects were kind of cheesy, and the sound effects were kind of up there. And some of the launch was kind of like supernatural effects and all that. So, kind of unbelievable. Especially that one person could take out 88 people, plus a big boss at the end. Which I might add that no one touched the Beatrix from the Crazy 88, except for maybe a Tennessee, but that was about it. She clowned everybody in that group. So yeah, let me know how you like it. And beats up my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girl and guys in Internet Land. See you never. Ciao ciao. Of the church. And then me 10.